yesterday. With Jose de Sousa leaving himself on a bogey. Is Belmont first to a finish, but
128.
The special one leaves things very nice indeed if Belmont can't treat us to something special here.
$60.
Right, can you take care of this a little bit more convincingly, Jose? He'll certainly feel a whole lot better if he can.
Game shot.
Does exactly that, extends his advantage. It's averaged around a ton in that final. Former Grand Slam victor. A special one, won that back in 2020, beating James Wade in the final, and we were all so excited then, weren't we, about what he could go on and achieve in this game. But
100.
I think we all want to see him come out of this quite difficult period in his career. Now he's got 70 left. It's just careless, wasn't it? He wants another one in the double five bed. Oh, Jose de Sousa doing Jose de Sousa things. Overall, a tricky first round opponent. Well navigated.
59. $76.
So it's double 11 to extend this contest.
62.
Is not going to go. So 127 in game is the requirement for Jose de Sousa to book his spot in the last 64. But not even hitting the big number. You can see the frustration on his face there. And I think this has been a summary of his year as a whole, really, this match, because there's been some really good scoring from Jose de Sousa, but some careless visits, some careless mistakes.
14.
Time and time again, he's missed the big number, not allowing himself a dart at double. But he does eventually get over the line, pinning double 8. There's some special stuff in there from Jose de Sousa. He said at the start of this campaign that he's so adamant
100.
to make sure that that doesn't happen again. Take care of business early, and then he allows himself the luxury of deciding what he does and doesn't compete in.
140.
And this is getting better and better from the Asp. But it's double 14.
120.
And that would have hurt, because Aspinall would have felt, having left himself on 68 after 12 against the throw, that he was definitely going to get a look. If Lennon could have taken that, it would have stung. Double 8.
Game shot.
Double double to take out the 68.
$100. $40. $16.
Well, the door is open again for Nathan Aspinall here to put some breathing space between these two players. And that's a great dart there for Nathan Aspinall. He'll fancy himself if he can.
124. Yeah.
On 124, get a
57.
One big treble there would have made him a heavy favourite. You still would just about. Well, this is a messy
51.
end to this leg, isn't it? After some great darts in the scoring phase. Getting a little bit messy, but if Nathan Aspinall can take care of this, won't get a dart at double 14. You can see the anger in his face. He just wants to get this job done and get off this board. But he may have to play another leg before doing so.
68.
Another opportunity to get this job done in this leg.
Game
And he
shot
does
and a
manage
match.
to do so. It was far from a classic Aspinall display, but he manages to book his spot in the last 64. So many trebleless visits in that contest from the Asp. As you expect him to
180.
really start to motor at some point as he piles in his first max of this contest. By Puuha, of course, still very much learning in this game. He picked up some valuable experience last year on the World Series. Some notable scalps as well along the way as Dave Chisnall makes that 6 perfect darts at the start of this second leg. Broken 16 in the opener. Now on 141.
57.
After 6. So for a bit of a statement, lost out in the opening round yesterday. He's not going to go out in 9.
105.
But sensible play there from Dave Chisnall, who you feel could really turn the screw and start to motor in this one. And if Puuha isn't careful, despite that maximum, if he's not careful, this game could slip away from him quite quickly.
Game shot.
And that is a 10-dart leg. That is absolutely sublime from Dave Chisnall. Nothing wrong with the way he started the contest, but it has gone downhill quickly. He's not on a finish after 12. So Puuha has time to set this up.
90.
And he does so impressively to take the lead. He'll be under pressure, and quite a lot of it.
165. Game shot.
And it is 3-2 to Puuha. I think Dave Chisnall will be feeling pretty sick the way that the last 3 legs have gone anyway. Had I'd been able to reel in the big fish.
134.
Might have been the same colour as his shirt. He's going to have to produce something special. And this would be very special. Excellent from Dave Chisnall to level this one. And he's got time at the back end of this leg. He's just going to set this up, taking a moment to think about it.
93.
When Dave Chisnall raced into a 2-0 lead, I don't think many people saw this coming, but Puuha was able to register his first leg on the board in 23 darts. Followed that up with an 18 and a 16 to go 3-2 ahead. Chizzy responded with a sublime 1-5-2 out. But from there, Puuha has upped his level slightly.
36.
And he's got 3 in hand at double 16 if Chizzy can't take care of this 81 to keep
21.
his hopes alive in Players' Championship 12.
41.
So Puuha, what a victory this would be and
Game
he is
shots and the
able to
match.
do
Hopai
it.
Puuha.
Dave Chisnall had a 10-dart leg in there, was 2-0 up. Hopai Puuha reeled off the next 3. Chizzy responded with a phenomenal 1-5-2 out to level proceedings yet again, but Hopai Puuha wins the next 3.
But it's not to the degree that they will be happy with their output for the first 6 months of the year.
We know Daryl Pilgrim likes to mess up a stat or two, though, don't we?
81.
Yeah, if we may be fair, he's only won 1 game this season. And that was against Gabriel Clemens, funny enough, who we've just mentioned. He's out today to Cameron Crabtree.
100.
Well, Daryl Pilgrim is currently 4-1 down to Matt Campbell. It's an interesting one, though, that it would be good to talk a bit more about at some point. But Mickey Mansell again,
145.
first down to a finish. Can he get his first leg on the board and get the break back?
Game shot.
Now he can. It's a beautiful 11-darter from Mickey. If they go out in, say, 14 darts and you're in position on, say, 58 or 57 after 12, you've done your job. You've put them under pressure. If they're up to it and they do it, fair enough.
180.
You can't stop your opponent doing things like that to leave 161. But what you can do is you can get yourself in position as well, just in case.
119.
Case in point yet again.
He's done a good job there. That's a makeable out. So was this. Middle.
Oh,
Game shot.
oh, that is absolutely sublime from Mickey Mansell.
Ian White could take the lead again. It feels as if he's had the lead the whole game and Mickey Mansell has got him
41.
on a bungee cord and just says, come over here. If Ian White loses this match, considering how much control he's had, he will be gutted. Double top for the lead once again.
49.
I think he's not going to do anything. It feels like the first leg in a
Yeah.
while where someone's had some breathing space at the end of a leg.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just about to say the same thing. Ian White will have looked over at Mansell's score then and gone, are you sure? But he is going to be under
180.
pressure now. And that feels more in tune with the theme of this match, doesn't it?
It does. The move left is minimal.
Game
And
shot.
he measured that one to perfection. What a dart from Ian White. Because the moment you let Mickey Mansell in, this could be one of those dreaded games that lives rent-free in your mind forever. You were in front or level the entire time, and the only time you lost the lead was at the very end.
140.
We have seen Mansell have a crack at a 146 on double 13, and he's going to get another shot at it.
To take us all the way.
81.
We've said from the outset that it feels like a match that was destined to go to a last leg decider. Mickey Mansell, of course, has already taken out a 161 in this contest. Can he add the 146? Double 13.
120.
Well, Ian White could not look then. I think he was preparing himself, wasn't he, for a last leg decider.
Yeah, that was a carbon copy of the last effort where he just missed it on the outside, but this is a match-winning shot. And Ian
Game
White
shot and the
does
match.
get the job
Ian
done.
White.
All of the best darts in the match came from Mickey Mansell, but he couldn't sustain more than 2 legs in a row when he was behind. And Ian White, who will feel bulletproof at this point, has just put in a very good display. There's quite a lot of tall Dutch dart players who decrease their height when they address the board because they feel they're too tall to be an
97.
effective dart player.
Yeah, it's completely different to when you see Karel Sedlacek approach the hockey, isn't it?
Yeah, he tends to stand
140.
quite tall, quite proud, like a meerkat. And he will be proud of this first leg if he hits double 6.
12.
Well, this would be
Game shot.
a statement of intent, and it is exactly that. What a start from Wessel Nyman. He's just watched Karel Sedlacek miss 3 at the outer ring, and he is royally punished.
Different ages, Challenge Tour players, Pro Tour card holders, and Development Tour players all going to battle here in Hildesheim.
91.
Just a sign of strength and the diversified portfolio that the PDC offers.
130.
Darts from Karel. Nyman though on a 170, and it's on. Here we go. Oh, he's found
Game
it as
shot.
well. That's hurtful. Sedlacek will feel like this is personal now.
Just deviating away from this match slightly, because we have been talking a bit about Kim Huybrechts this week, and there were quite a few
180.
eyebrows raised as Wessel Nyman piles in another 180 there to leave himself on 124 after 9. Quite a few eyebrows raised to see him back in action so soon after injury. Now,
100.
he kicked off yesterday with a 1-0 average, then lost in game 2 with an average below 80. Today, as Wessel Nyman looks to treat us to another 3-figure out,
113.
just misses double 11. My oh my, that was close. But to tidy
91.
this one up, gonna have to burn a dart, but could still get it done in 14. 15 will do,
Game
and
shot.
does exactly that. 3 15 dart legs and a 17. Solid stuff from Wessel Nyman in this one so far, but just picking up that point on Kim again.
128.
And he looked in significant discomfort. Now with Poland at the weekend as well, would you have skipped this
140.
event? Now he can only do what he thinks is best for himself. Would you have been here?
It would depend on a few factors, and we might not have enough time
132.
to get through it, because Wessel Nyman has left himself 48 for the match, but only if Karel misses, which he
Game
doesn't.
shot.
That is brilliant.
He can only do what he thinks is best for him. He thinks trying to play through it is.
For me personally, I
121.
probably would have taken the break if it was
Yeah.
something to do with a physical ailment.
Especially with Poland this weekend as
Yeah.
well.
60.
61 for the win. There's the 1. Is this the 60?
41.
Not to be, but look how much time Wessel Nyman has afforded himself to get the job done. Started this match with back-to-back 15 dart legs, a 1-2-1 before reeling in the big fish. Karel Sedlacek kept
Game
himself
shot
in
and
the
the
match
match.
with a
Wessel
lovely
Nyman.
1-1-8, but Wessel Nyman eventually gets over the line. And we are judging him
45.
purely on his own standards. That's why it seems quite harsh considering what he still is able to do.
80.
But I think as well there were people who, myself included to a degree, despite going into finals night of the Premier League, because he bosses that tournament, it's his
100.
backyard in so many respects. Even though he didn't go there as the form player, you kind of expected him to do something special like he did last year when Gerwen Price was the favourite, and he's
Game
just
shot.
done something very special there to move halfway to victory.
Well, Kai Gotthard is having one heck of a couple of days. Got his first victory in a Players' Championship yesterday, took out Nolan van Leuven in the first round, and he's
131.
taken out Damon Hetta just now. He's in the board final.
Well, George Killington
86.
looking to make things happen today after what happened against him yesterday, as Danny Jansen, one more in hand.
18.
Well, if you're going to get yourself back into a contest like this, you really need to take those opportunities, don't you?
Double 6. Yes,
Game
he
shot.
had to take it. And Van Gerwen pounces with a brilliant clean-up job.
Michael van Gerwen, it's just making it look so simple, isn't he?
134.
Around the 102 mark now.
He looks in the groove, doesn't he, Abby? But I think the problem this season hasn't been
140.
the output in games like this. It's been the sustained nature of it.
He's been getting into the groove, but he's also been exiting the groove. But he is very much in the groove at the moment. A 6-1 victory for Michael van Gerwen. Finish it with his best leg of the match, a 12-darter. There were 2 13s in there as well, an average just shy of 104. And just look at that finishing. Didn't miss a dart at the outer ring. A 6-1 success for MVG.
Whoever takes this one will win the board and play either Andy Barton's or George Killington in the next round. Fascinating stuff.
60.
And if we may just take that a little bit further. Madars Razma yesterday won his board for the very
100.
first time this year. He does it twice in a row. Things are starting to get better for him. Did he do that the wrong way around?
Game shot.
It's always around 90. It's just days like this 95. And days like yesterday where he ups it just a little bit and ekes his way through opponents like Price, who he beat 6-1 yesterday.
180.
People like Meikle and Lauby and Borland. However, I just wonder if he will ever find that extra 5% that he'll 41. Need to get to that next step. Now, I know he's made the match play. I know he's made the Grand Prix. But I suppose you want him to get to those things on a regular basis. Double 16 for Rock.
Game shot.
Beautiful dart once again, and that is a 12-darter to re-establish the lead for a second time after taking the lead in the first leg, and then again in the third, and now in the fifth. It's the tactic of always giving yourself the chance of leaving the finish with the last dart. By going 20s
98.
and not getting the treble, he has escaped the possibility of leaving the finish. And he needs mistakes from Rock if he is going to take a break of throw. But he's lurking better than before, isn't he?
Madars Razma is the one who is starting to ask questions against the throw. That is an excellent first dart. Double-double, and he gets it. It's not the route he was going for, Josh Rock, but he takes out the 120 anyway.
He takes the lead again.
180.
Will there be a break of throw in this match, I wonder? There doesn't have to be if you're Josh Rock, who's got all of the maximums in this contest. The other board finals.
133.
On the outside boards, you've got Ryan Meikle taking on Stephen Burton in a Suffolk derby, and he's 5-1 up.
180.
Lefty from Ipswich. In the board final on the other stream, you've got Kai Gotthard, who was 1-2 down to Daniel Closer, and Peter Wright in an all-Scottish encounter with Andy Bolton is currently 5-3 up.
133.
Well, that could be huge for Ryan Meikle, couldn't it? With how his year is going so
89.
far, a good run for Meikle would be massive. And this would be pretty massive too, wouldn't it?
2 treble 19s and double top. Look at the disappointment, because the first dart was as close to perfect as you could wish for.
130.
So are we going to get the first break of this contest?
36.
No, we're not. So Madars Razma, well, after the disappointment of that second dart, he recomposed well, didn't he, to set this up in case Rocky slipped up.
He did slip. I don't think he was in prime position when he was throwing at that double 8.
Game shot.
And he is tied again.
Josh Rock, the first to really slip. And he slipped on more than one occasion in that last leg, it has to be said. Madars Razma finally making him pay. And he is now racing towards the finish line. 87 after 9. This is absolutely fantastic from Razmataz.
I'm starting to think that he really likes this streaming board, because yesterday he beat Price on it. Double 18. He's decided split
79.
that. That is good ball management. You'd rather be on 8 than 9.
Well, it shows the clarity and thought that he has got at the moment. He's afforded himself some time in what he hopes is going to be the last leg of the match. Josh Rock has been nowhere to be seen since making those errors at the back end of the last leg, and Madars Razma, having got that crucial break in the last leg, eventually getting over the line. Yes, it is in, Madars. You are through yet again, and what a week this is proving to be for the Latvian. As you can see, Josh Rock's downfall there, 22% on the doubles. Madars Razma, 46%, and he is through to round 4.
Can you even imagine how he would feel if he wins this
180.
game? He's got a chance if he's doing things like this.
100.
One thing I will say is that Michael van Gerwen will not take him for granted. What a leg that is from Kai. 11 darter to draw level at 1-1. We might just have a different game on our hands than we thought. Richard Veenstra and Ricky Evans are currently doing battle on board number 5.
121.
Matt Campbell is going to take on Jan van Veen, who came from behind to beat Jurjen van der Velde in the previous round. Danny Noppert got his revenge on Alan Sousa
180.
and is into the last 16 at the expense of the Scot. Are we 2-2?
70.
We might not be. This is a game from the top half of the draw. And it's
Game
3-1 Van Gerwen. Kai's had chances. He could easily be 3-1 up himself, but he is not. And it's starting to click.
180.
It's getting easier once he gets the front. From my own experience,
57.
the 2 best front runners in the history of this sport, Van Gerwen and Taylor.
145.
Look at how he's cruising at the minute. As soon as he gets that 2-leg cushion, all the pressure lifts, and 41 after 9 is being made to look very simple.
54.
And the demeanor of Kai has changed as well. It's one of, this guy is pretty good. Can I beat him today? The likelihood is he probably won't, because he's 4-1 up. Consequently, if you do want to watch any of the other streaming boards, Danny Noppert is on stream 1 with Abby Davis and Chris Murphy.
105.
And you might want to switch to that in a second, because this game could be over. He wanted to finish with a bang, didn't he?
140.
He may get a look at double 10, but has Kai got anything to offer on the 170? And that might be it for the best day of darts he's had so far in the PDC. Michael van Gerwen is through to the last 8. He has dispatched Kai Gotthard, who has had a brilliant day of darts here in Hildesheim, but that's as far as he goes. It's so tight and so difficult to beat.
60.
Especially when the high and low are so close together at a very good level. He's already got Keane in a bit of a worrying position.
94.
He's never been noted as a heavy scorer, not, but he's been a 140 merchant.
100.
However, coming into the quarterfinals, he had the 2nd most 180s of anybody behind Dimitri van den Bergh. Has he got double top for a 2-0 lead?
Game shot.
He's got an assist. Nice flick on at the front post, and a 2-0 lead it is. And he will walk around the practice room and state that fact. And he has won here. In fact, his last victory in a Players' Championship was in this building.
180.
That was last year. But Danny Noppert is becoming that
140.
player that wins every season. He's become the dependable Danny that he always wanted to be. Look at this for a leg.
141.
But imagine if Keane takes the 161. He might. Let's face it, he had to.
137.
Because you don't see Noppert missing this.
Game
And he
shot.
doesn't. That's a 10-dart leg. He's Played over 100 Players' Championship events.
100.
And he might just have this hold in his locker. That's a great second dart.
98.
How did he get past that dart with that flat lie? That was a magic shot.
$57.
Double 16. And he should hit it from there.
Game shot.
And that's why. Just kisses his way in. But is he even going to get there? Right now, Keane Barry is hoping that Danny makes one big mistake, but you just think it's not coming. Got to put yourself into position. And because
60.
he doesn't, Danny doesn't have to go for the bullseye now. But he still will, curiously. He's going to leave tops.
92.
That was his call. And after all of the fight backs that Keane Barry has tried, he might be out of bullets.
Game shot and the
Danny
match.
Noppert too
Danny
good on this
Noppert.
occasion, and in 10 legs, he punches his ticket to the final four. He's lost them all. The first one he was a final in back in 2019 was when he lost to Max Hopp in Dublin.
94.
Lost to Peter Wright in 2020 at the Autumn Series, and Gerwen Price in 2022 in a Players' Championship. So he does know how to make the final match.
99.
But he has never been interviewed at the end of the day.
Do you feel like he's a different player now? Do you feel like the experience that he has, he's ready to take that next step?
If I'm honest, I'm not sure.
62.
I don't see any difference in his levels from the last few years. He's been hovering around the 90 average level every single season. I think he's streaky. When he's good, he can do this. When he's not, he'll find himself out by about 45 minutes after the start of play.
Yeah, his averages pretty much back that up as well, don't they?
Game shot.
Is Dimitri van den Bergh. Yeah, I feel like someone's hit the rewind button.
Well, there's the two double tops now. He can snag it in.
62.
Ran out of room. Maybe because he just wanted to leave double 10 again. And this is what I'm talking about. It's spending too much time thinking. This is a player, and his opponent is the same. Even though he's won PDC titles before, this is not a pre-throw routine. This is ragged.
Yeah, and I think it's safe to say that MVG was not a
58.
player who appreciated this. He's not someone who enjoyed it. He is obviously someone who is so keen to get to the hockey. I'm sure Dimmy hasn't even really noticed.
I think he lives his life in his own little bubble. Here we go for double 10 number 4.
Game shot.
And there it is.
So yeah, you're not going to put Dimmy off by doing that, was the point. You can see even the way after retrieving his darts. But is he going to be able to do that in time?
He can only afford Dimitri to win one more leg.
131.
Very drastic. I think Dimitri can almost submit in this leg.
100.
He can somewhat creep into the vicinity of Madars and pray that he gets a chance for 6-1, but it's very unlikely.
The double that has been Dimitri's
70.
friend throughout this match. Madars is not able to pin it. He has got time, but this is the difference, really, isn't it?
85.
Dimitri van den Bergh continues. It doesn't matter that Madars Razma has 3 in hand at double 10.
Game shot.
Dimitri van den Bergh is still fully focused on getting his score down. Anyway, nobody is doing anything wrong. It's not against the rules. You know it's coming. It's not a shock.
121.
There was nothing else that led to that. It's not as if he's had 12 bounce outs on the spin. It's not as if Dimi had done anything wrong or that he'd
96.
had terrible fortune, Razma.
Maybe these are the only two players who know what's happening down there. And we can only speculate from a distance. But is that a parting shot for Razma? This is a chance to win this semi-final, to make sure that Razma is not taking part in his 4th Pro Tour final. He thinks he's already out. And he's right.
Game shot and the match.
Because Dimitri van den Bergh has won by 7 legs to 3. And he's going to take on Matt Campbell to see who is the 12th different